again, Mike Hedding here, coming to you today with just a little mini mandolin lesson. We're going to work on another Monroe-Style downstroke lick. So this is a great lick in 3/4 time. So we got 3 beats per measure. And this is a great lick that you can use as a fill at the end of a vocal line or the end of a phrase. It works really good for bluesy songs like Sitting Alone in the Moonlight or Bluest Man in Town. It also work good on gospel songs in 3/4. It's just a little fill lick. Or you could use that at the end of a solo, it would also work really well. I'll break down a bunch of variations on the lick and then show you how you can move it around to all of the different keys. You know, you can play it in any key. It's super easy to move it around once you get it down. All right, let's start breaking down this Monroe-Style downstroke lick in 3/4. All right, let's start breaking down this Monroe-Style downstroke lick. So this lick can be used in 3/4 time and sounds really good on bluesy songs and also can work as like a gospel fill lick. So this, you could use this also as at the end of a solo, but mainly this will be used as a fill lick at the end of a vocal line or between a vocal phrase, and it's a really good one to have under your fingers. I'll start by breaking down the lick, and then I'll show you how to move it around to different keys. It's a movable chord lick, so once you get it down, you can move it around to whatever key you're in. So let's start by breaking down the lick. Here we go. Again. So it's a fill lick. So we're going to start with just a chop, because again, I think that helps you practice doing it in real life, because normally you're going to be chopping and then play the lick and go right back to chopping. So that's how I did it. Again, you could practice without the chopping if you want, but we're going to start by hitting the low string. I'm in my G chop chord. So I've got my first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, 2nd finger 3rd fret of the high E string, 3rd finger 5th fret, D string, pinky way down on the 7th fret. Okay, so that's my classic Bill Monroe G chop chord. So that's what we're going to be working out of. So again, I'm going to do a pick, chop, chop, because we're in 3/4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's the timing we're going to use. So the first measure of the lick is chop. And then we're going to hit the 5th fret on the D string for a dotted quarter note. So 1, 2, and then on the and of beat 2, we're going to play the high 3rd fret. So 1, 2, and then a little triplet at the end, 5th fret on the A string, 3rd fret, and then a quick slide, 1 to 2 slide, and then down to the 5th fret. So you have, let's just do the lick without the chops. You have, and I'm using all downstrokes. So 1, 2, and triplet 1. Triplet is 3 notes for an 8th note. So triplet. That's a good little lick to practice, that ending little triplet. Doing a quick slide there. So you have 1 and triplet 1, 2, and then you're back to chop. So your last downbeat on the 5th fret is the end of the lick. Right here is your 1 of the next measure, and then you chop. So you hit that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So you can loop it. So that's the basis of the lick. So let me show you a bunch of variations. One you could do is skip the high 3rd fret and just go. So that's not triplet, so it's 1 and 3 and 1. So you're always kind of starting with that dotted quarter note. 1, 2. So a lot of these are just little subtle variations. You know, we're going to really totally reinvent the lick here. We're just doing subtle variations. If you want a bluesier version, you can hit the 5th fret, and then instead of hitting the high 3rd fret, which is like octaves, which does sound really cool. If you wanted more bluesy, you could do the 1st fret. So you have, hear that? So it's the same timing. 1 and triplet 1. That's just a subtle variation. Another one you could do is, instead of doing octaves, you hit the 5th fret, and then quick slides That's kind of a fun one too. So you have, you gotta move your hand quick there. Or again, you can create your own variations. You could slide into it and then triplet. What I would do is just try and get the timing down. So 1, 2, 3, 1. Or again, I'm just kind of playing with that, seeing what I can come up with there. Another one that's common is if I hit my 5th fret on the D string and then go up to the 7th fret on the A string. That's kind of like a banjo, similar to a banjo lick. So again, you can practice it on just a simple G. The other thing you could do is like a G, D, G, and then do the lick. So you'd have G, D, G. So that'd be another one to good practice. Because again, a lot of times it's going to happen at the end of a vocal line. So you'd have G, D. Hear how that fits in there? So G, D. So that's what you can use there. Lastly, one more is you can do the 5th fret, and then 7th fret again, and then just do it without the slide. Again, what I want you to think about here is subtle variations. Just play with the timing, play with the subtlety, you know, do slides, or do, you know. So there's going to be a lot of subtle variations you can come up with for these licks. So think of the kind of the essence of the lick. You're working out of this chord shape, and you're basically trying to get back to this root note. You know, however you get down there is fine. And again, I think the rhythm of it is important, and the kind of the timing of it is more important than what notes you actually play. But I gave you a bunch of variations to try to just get it under your fingers. So now let's look at moving it to different keys, because once we get it down, it's super easy to move it around. Let's start by moving it up first. So if we just take that same shape, move it up, your pinky won't have anywhere to go because you don't have a lower string, but we can do that same lick. So we'd have, this would be in C. Or, you know, just come up, just try them all. So that'd be C. If you move it up 2 frets, that'd be D. So you can really do it wherever you get it down. Again, you're just working out of this shape. Okay, so that, again, you can move it around this way. Let's go back down this way. So let's go back to this chord. If we go up 2, this would be like A. So if you ever heard the song Sitting Alone in the Moonlight, at the end of that phrase, it does D, E, A. That's a perfect spot to throw that lick. Or D, E, A. Or, again, you can come up with all those subtle variations. Just working out of this shape. Go up 2 frets, that's B. You know, that's a good one. If you ever heard the song Bluest Man in Town by Del McCoury, this is a great song that could use that. Again, you can also experiment with where on the fretboard you're playing your right hand. If you want to do it really Bill Monroe style, you know, get way back by the bridge. You know, if you want a little sweeter, do it up here. I'd probably kind of do it a little bit closer to the bridge. And then I would go back to my chop. So I might do something like that. Again, you can move it up 1 fret, that'd be C. So really, it's pretty easy to move it around F, you know. You can really move it around wherever you want to do it. Okay, so that's a classic 3/4 lick for Monroe-style mandolin that you can practice, all right?